Hi and welcome back to my playthrough of Dreams and Shadows. I really think that things are looking pretty grim. I haven't done any progress so far. The only good thing that happened, or which I was able to achieve, was to get some companions. But this was only possible because of a very fortunate event card. But yeah, see for yourself, Nora already got cursed, and this is something that I forgot to do at the end of last round. So I was supposed to roll a die, and let's do that right now. And yeah, on a roll of 5 or 6 I would lose that curse, and on a roll of a 1 I would lose 1 willpower. So let's see. That's a 2. Neither nor would happen, so she's still cursed, but she's not losing a point of willpower. One thing I did notice during editing was that I forgot to reshuffle Morrigan's specific foes into the common foe deck. And so I was continuing to draw just Morrigan foes. I think I will not take that back for those invaders up there, but I think I want to see some randomness for those guys here. So I will put those back to the monster cup. I will also reshuffle the card back into the monster deck, and now this is a combined monster deck, and the top card is an Elron enemy or Elron foe, though I think I want to draw from the bottom here. So let's see what we get. Yep, this is definitely not from the Morrigan deck, and here we have some primal spirits. I can sense the growing hatred amongst these spirits. It must be his doing. After one turn on the map, replace primal spirits with dire beasts. So we really want to get rid of those as quickly as possible. So let's remove those cards. Let's remove those funny guys and replace them with this primal spirit monster here. Overall, this primal spirit is not really impossible to beat. They only have a life point value of 3. But yeah, we have to try to get rid of them as soon as possible. Okay, I think we can get started, and Nora still has the initiative because she has the highest agility. I think that's still the case. Yep. So with her first action, we want to move her up there to this primal spirits foe up there. On that location, the realm space number 6, we want to activate her special action, which says ambush a foe on the same space. So let's do that. And in theory, an ambush is a normal combat round, but in this case, only the champion gets to hit. Of course, we still have to match or exceed the defense value of the foe we are attacking, but in this case the foe is not allowed to attack back. So this is really a great advantage. So let's check out our combat values. In the ambush, only the might really matters. So we take our base might, we would add our hunting knife, and we would add our mercenary. So in total we come to a might of 5, which is not too bad, to be honest. And note, we would not be allowed to gain, let's say, advantages from 2 weapons, for example. So we really have to decide which weapon to go for. But if they all come from different classes here, though those are companions, this is a weapon, then that's perfectly fine. And in theory, or pretty much very practical, we want to exceed this defense value of the foe here, because for each point we are exceeding this value, we would inflict 1 point of damage. So we are already even. So with a 3, our normal roll in this game, this would be already enough to take out those primal spirits. So yeah, let's get our die tower ready. And again, we are looking for 3 in this case. I am pretty sure now we will roll a 6 or so, but let's see. I knew it. Okay, wow, but this was really an absolute fantastic hit, to be honest. So that's 6 plus our 5 from our base might, that's 11, and definitely more than enough to inflict 3 wounds on those primal spirits. So they're out of the game for now, of course. Good thing is we would also be allowed to get 1 piece of gold. Right now I think there's nothing we could afford with it, but yeah, working on it. We would not be able to re-roll that die roll because we are cursed, but apart from that, we should be good. Okay, that was finally something useful. So we really did something proactively. That's great. So we will shuffle this card back into the foe deck. Those get removed. And I think we should still have one more action. I could basically linger here, but I think that's not good at all. So I really want to move upwards. That's really important, and I think we will go up here to this space with our last action to the wilderness, because the wilderness normally provides us a bonus because for special ability which says for all tests on a wild space we would roll an extra die, but unfortunately we are also cursed, so we are not allowed to roll more than one die. Now it's Tamlin, and I'm not so sure what I want to do with him. The thing is, all the new tokens that might appear now could go here to the south, because we already saw a lot of those tokens appear in the north. So if I would also move him up there, we would be in kind of a problem. But on the other hand, we have also 3 enemies up there. So I think neither of our champions will be able to take those out on his or her own. So I think, yeah, why not? Let's also move him up 1, 2, 3 spaces here to the shadow token. Unfortunately, we don't have an action left in order to remove this token. This would have been awesome, to be honest, but yeah, I think nothing we can do right now. And here I already noticed that really going for those 2 starting champions wasn't really a very wise idea. You should really start, let's say, kind of scattered on the map here. Yeah. But let's see how things go. Now we are in the combat phase, and yeah, we have the witches still on the board. So again, they will cast a curse, and yeah, those afflictions do stack, so you can have more than 1 curse, for example. And I think they're right now in 1, 2, 3... 1, 2, 3, same distance. And to be honest, I might have read something, but I think in this case I will just roll the die. 1, 2, 3 would be Tamlin, and 4 to 6 would be Nora. Okay, that's 3, so Tamlin also gets a curse, but I think that's not too bad, to be honest. And really for these curses, I'm not really sure if those stack. Normally really afflictions do stack, and the rule says where it's appropriate. Is it appropriate? Of course, you have to roll once or twice, and you could always lose a willpower. Yeah, not so sure to be honest. But we still have the changelings on the board, so let's draw a random token, shadow token. Okay, that's the value 4. I think that's good, or kind of good, let's put it that way, because 4 is right next to our heroes. But the thing is, I think we would replace all of those tokens anyway in the or at the end of this turn, so not really sure if this will help us, to be honest. Then we come to the scenario phase, and we start with Nora. She happens to be on a wild space, and here we see a waterfall. Deep in the wilds, you feel the quiet isolation of being the only person around for many weeks. Your path along a raven finally ends when you come upon a waterfall. Fresh water is cascading over a cliff into a rocky pool hundreds of feet below. You carefully descend along the side until you reach the base of the waterfall. Resting a moment, you search the area. Test, I think that's awareness against a score of 7. She has an awareness of 4, so again we are looking for our magical 3. So let's see what we can roll. Oh, that's only a 2. That's a 2, and I don't have a boon token. Now I could be using this boon token to add this to my die roll here. Then this would be enough. Ah, that really sucks. Okay, yeah, we have to live with the result. So let's see what we get. Here we have the success. I don't want to read this. Failure. You find nothing of interest in the area and continue your trek through the wilderness. Okay, I think that could have been worse, but maybe would have found something awesome. That's really a pity. Then it's the scenario phase for Tamlin. He's on a hollow space, and it seems he managed to find a lair. You turn a corner and find yourself at the entrance of a small cave. There is a rank odor in the air, and peering in, you can see gnawed bones littering the floor. Atop them sits a large feral beast feasting on a human corpse. It has not yet noticed you. Choose to either sneak your way past the entrance or avenge its victim. I really don't know what those two decisions would go, but first of all, I want to check my ability. So sneaking might be something like an agility test, that's a 3, and fighting might be a might test, also a 3. But I think he's not really the fighter, so I think thematically he will, or he wants to sneak into this situation. So I think we want to sneak away past the entrance. So where is sneak? Sneak. Okay, sneak past. Test against agility against a score of 7. That's what I figured. So I think, yeah, we just saw that we have the agility of 3, but we have a boon token with that. And because we have the watcher with us as well, if we spend a boon token, we would get an additional +1 to that. So in theory, we only need to roll a 2, to be honest, because we could spend the boon token. This would give us a +2. That's awesome. Okay, let's try to do that. So we need a 4, a natural 4, or at least a 2. Then we would be able to sneak past that feral beast. That's the 2. Can you believe that? But of course, yeah, that was our plan anyway. We will spend our one and only boon token. Normally that would only be a +1, but because of the watcher we get a +2. And you also have to keep in mind that you can only spend those boon tokens up to a natural die roll of a 6. So if you already have rolled a 5, for example, then you could only spend one of those boon tokens to boost it up to a 6. Okay, let's see, we were successful. You slip past the entrance unnoticed. Oh, come on. No goodie for us. Ah, that was really a very lame scenario phase. Okay, have to live with that. Let's move to the end of turn events. Of course, not so fast. We have to do our event first. Enemy at the gates. On the morrow they will arrive like a dark tide. Stand with me then. Together we will drive them back. Oh, come on. No, please. Place a random foe on each shadow token. You must be kidding me, because we will see some more appearing. Wow, this will be tough. Okay, let's start with this token. Again, we will draw from the bottom of the deck. This is from Aron, a Black Magi. There is no turning back now. We will usher in a new age, and rule is undying gods. At the end of each combat phase, the nearest champion loses 2 health. Oh man, we really have to get rid of this Black Magi. And they are really tough. Wow, that's really challenging. So let's place those guys up there. But of course, we still have this shadow token. And I believe from what I read, we are not supposed to remove those shadow tokens. So this goes to right next to Morrigan. Let's keep on drawing from the bottom of the deck. Again, another Aron enemy. Fallen Knight, also very tough creature, it seems. Combat is considered a duel, which means I think I cannot use any companions, if I'm not mistaken. Even in death, honor binds him to that foul king. Okay, let's try to find the token for this fella. And yeah, I think luckily we already passed the combat phase, but I really have to do something about those guys. Huh. That's really tough. Okay, let's move this pile next to Morrigan. And I think now we can come to the end of turn events. Let's start with a Curse of Nora. We are looking for a 5 or a 6. Awesome, awesome. So we are allowed to remove that curse. That's really great. Let's do the same for Tamlin. Again, we are looking for a 5 or a 6. Awesome. Wow, that was great. cool stuff. Great job, guys. Okay, we removed both of our curses, but unfortunately Morrigan still hits back at us at the end of each turn. Replace each shadow token with a random foe, then place a new shadow token on the map equal to half the number of champions. We already know that drill. Again, we will start with that space up there. Let's remove the shadow token. Let's draw one that's a Morrigan foe. And here we see our red cap assassins again. So I happen to have those right away. So let's put those next to those Magi or Black Magi, I think. Let's remove this shadow token as well. Let's draw a card, another Morrigan foe. And here we see a Kelpie. They like to lure and devour children, Tamlin. We kill it slow. Ambush any champion that travels to this space. Good thing is we already are on that space, but of course we still have to find the token for this Kelpie. And even though it looks pretty cool, I don't feel really happy about all of our events. We have so many foes, and as we really weren't able to remove one of our foes at the very first round, this is pretty soon, or will be over pretty soon. Okay, let's move our fate token to round number 3, and then it will be Nora again who will start the next turn. And as she's just lost her curse, she's really feeling strong, powerful, and motivated. So she will move into this wild space. The good thing on this wild space is she is now allowed to roll 2 dice and choose the higher one, because also the attack test is a test, so she can always roll 2 dice there. That's awesome. Again, she will use her ambush special action, that's for sure. So again, she has a might of 5 because of her hunting knife and the mercenaries, and she wants to attack those Black Magi who also happen to have they have a defense of 6, so we definitely need to roll at least a 2 to inflict a wound, but keep in mind we can roll 2 dice, so let's do that. And as I know my luck, I will now roll 2 ones or something like that, or 2 times 6, something really crazy. Let's see, that's a 3 and a 2. 3 plus 5 is an 8. They have a defense of 6, so we inflicted 2 points of damage on those Black Magi. That's not really great because they have a health of 5, but there is not really much that we can do right now against it. The good thing is those wounds remain at or close to those foes here, so they will not auto heal or something like that. It's already tough enough this game, but I was really hoping for something better here. I could still decide if I want to re-roll, and maybe I should do that because now I'm no longer cursed. I'm in an attack, so yeah. Would it change something? Yeah, I think I should. So I will spend my very first willpower point, and this allows me to re-roll 1 die. And of course I go for the lower one here, the 2. Let's see. It's another 3, so okay. We already knew what was coming, so why bother? She still has an action though, and I think I want to move her out of this space. So I think I will move her up here to this realm space number 2. You might ask why I'm doing this. I have a plan, at least I hope this plan is going to work out. And I think now we come to Tamlin, and I think now it's time that he will invoke his very first spell. Of course, we first have to move him up here to wild space number 4, and then for his second action he will now call the storm. The rules are unfortunately a bit unclear on how those spells actually work, but from a thread on BGG I learned that you can pretty much use those spells only once per turn. So let's just kind of activate it. And now a foe on the same space loses health equal to a die roll, and that's what we are going to do. And of course we want to hit this black Magi there because we still need 3 more hit points. And yeah, 3 is the number in this game, so let's see what we roll. That's a 4, more than enough to inflict the remaining 3 hit points on this Magi. So those guys are actually out, but we are still allowed to claim the reward here, and that's 2 pieces of gold for Tamlin. And this would bring him into the position to buy something cool from the hand here. It's either the sword and the shield, and this is really great. So we get 1 might, and we would be allowed to reduce the power of an enemy by 1 when defending. So this can be pretty helpful. But on the other hand, we also have the combat feat here, the onslaught. Unfortunately, this needs to be activated as well. So yeah, not sure. It gives us 2 might, but it reduces our agility. So this, of course, we will get much stronger in taking out an enemy, but we would lose 1 defense point basically. Tamlin has still 1 more action left, and I think he wants to use it to move up here to this realm space in order to acquire some acid during the next turn or so. Then we jump right into the combat phase again, starting with the witches, and I think I will roll the die again because they will curse one of our characters. And yeah, again, not really sure. Let's roll the die. 1, 2, 3 is again Tamlin. And in this case, Nora gets cursed again. And then we still have those changelings who will spawn a new shadow token onto the map. What do we have here? Number 6. Oh man, yeah, this is what I thought. This one goes all the way down there to hollow space number 6. Let's move into the scenario phase, and again we start with Nora, so let's see what she will face. You arrive at the quiet little town in the middle of the day to find the streets empty and the place eerily quiet. Walking along the main road, you notice worried eyes peeking down at you from the upper floor windows of closed shops. As you enter the main town square, you spot a large wagon loaded with corpses. A few bodies are also on the ground covered in white sheets. A flaxen-haired woman is examining them. Noticing your presence, she introduces herself as a Magi from the White Rose. She is studying a mysterious illness that has claimed over a dozen lives in this town. Test insight against a score of 7, and yeah, guess what? Her insight is only a 2, so in this case we would need to roll a 5 or more. So it's just like Arkham Horror, but unfortunately we are only allowed to roll 1 die. Basically like a luck test when spending a clue somewhere in the other world. So let's see. That's a 2. Of course, let's see what the fail condition is. It's the failure. You leave the Magi to her work and continue on your way. A few days later, you hear about the town's dead rising in the night and butchering everyone. Lose 1 willpower and place 1 undead horde on this space. Oh, come on. Okay, first of all, let's lose 1 willpower and spawn 1 undead horde up there. They are animated like puppets by his wraiths. We must find a way to cut the strings. Okay, their special ability increase their strength or combat value by the number of other foes on the same space. Okay, right now that's 0, that's okay, but those guys are already pretty tough. Okay, let's put the token right next to our friends. So it's really getting awfully crowded up there. And yeah, then it's Tamlin, who's also on a realm space. And here we have some highwaymen. Traveling along an empty stretch of road, you reach a stone bridge that provides a path across a river. Several rough-looking men approach you and demand a toll for passing through unharmed. Choose whether to pay them 1 gold or challenge them. Phew, that's now tough. That's now tough. I think in this case, as he's not the best talker, it would be best to pay 1 gold. We really need all our health for all the enemies up there. So let's see what we have. We would not challenge them, we would pay them. Okay, you decide discretion is the better part of valor and pay the toll. Lose 1 gold. Okay, we lost 1 gold, but luckily there wasn't any other penalty for taking that decision. I was for a second thinking, hey, maybe I pay them and they want more, or they will still attack us, but in this case everything turned out just fine. Then it's time for the event phase, so let's see what we get. Nightmare dreams. I see their bloodied faces every night, staring at me with empty eyes. Attach a random mental affliction to each champion. Oh man, poof, those afflictions really start to pile up. So let's start with Nora. Let's give it a quick shuffle and yeah, start flipping over afflictions. Oh, first one, mental affliction, madness. Those voices, those voices. Roll a die at the end of every turn. Discard a madness card, and we would lose 1 awareness and 1 insight. Ooh, that's tough to be honest, but we could get rid of it basically just like the curse. Okay, have to keep it for now. Let's do the same for Tamlin. Let's see, that's wounded, physical, another wounded, crippled, also physical affliction, and fear. We would lose 1 might. That's tough, especially for him. And as an action, we would have to spend 1 willpower to discard this card. Okay, I think he can afford to lose 1 willpower, I guess. So yeah, have to keep it, of course. We will shuffle all the other afflictions right back into the affliction deck. So ready for the next round. Pretty sure we will see some more coming. Then we come to the end of the round, so we would start to roll for those 2 conditions. So let's start with a curse. We would lose it on a 5 or 6. 4, wow, awfully close, but nothing else would happen. And then same for the madness. It's 2, okay. Luckily we didn't lose any point of willpower, but we are also not really able to get rid of those conditions. We don't have to roll for the fear, and again, awesome artwork here, because we have to spend 1 action and 1 point of willpower in order to get rid of it, and I think I will do that during the next turn. Then it's Morrigan, and she will replace that shadow token with a random foe from the deck. Again, we will draw from the bottom. Okay, what do we have here? A wood woes. Never heard of those guys. From the dragon guy. Take care when traveling deep into the woods. You might return forever changed. Special ability. At the end of each combat phase in Act 1, place a shadow. Oh, wow. That's now an awful combo for the... Well, in combination with the changelings. And I was really hoping to get rid of those. That's crap. Okay, let's remove this shadow token anyway. Let's spawn the foe token down there. In theory, they're not too far away, to be honest, but not sure if I will ever go down there again. I knew this would happen. Okay, but then we still have to spawn a new shadow token, also as part of Morrigan's special action or end of turn event. So what do we have here? Oh, you must be kidding me. That's a shadow token right next to where our friends are. So that's the first time that I might be able to get rid of one of those shadow tokens. That might be a good thing. Yeah, until now I was tempted to call this scenario Terror from the North, because all the actions were basically taking place up there. But as we just found or spawned 1 foe down there, I think this is more than a global scenario for now. Not really sure what I should do. And one thing I nearly forgot to do was to move the fate token. So we still have 2 more normal turns, so including event phase, including scenario phase, and then we would jump right into act number 2, where it's only taking actions and fighting our way all the way up to Morrigan. And right now I really don't have any clue where she would spawn. I really hope you are still enjoying my little playthrough of Dreams and Shadows. And yeah, hope to see you soon in one of my next videos. And until then, bye bye.